What is this, like the 70s?
God, this was the 80s.
This is the 80s?
Damn, he's like, what is this, the 70s? I mean, damn. I mean, I'm a little older than you, but I said I was 9.
What up, Ange?
What's up?
This is our second attempt. I just got to let the audience know why it looks different, because usually we do this online. But look, people, I fucked up. I forgot to tell her, do not close the computer or the files won't upload. I would like to blame her for having the old computer, but it's my lack of communication that causes for us to be in person. But this is a great mistake, yo. That was because I like talking to you in person.
I'm cracking up. The hype won't blame me. You did not say.
Hold the mic.
Oops. Must have. You did not say must have the most up to date phone.
Shit, I didn't know either. I just thought it was fine because look, Apple said they're not what do they call it, clocking or downgrading any of their shit.
Bullshit.
I know, they be lying, yo. They were like, if you got like an Apple phone 10, you fine. And that's not true at all. This shit is fucked up.
I can tell every time a new one is coming out because my iPhone 5 keeps like going down a little.
Yeah.
I don't have an iPhone 5. You ain't even react to that. I don't know what they are.
Because I believe it. I'm not even going to lie. You said iPhone 5 and I was like, that makes sense.
No, wait. The only reason I upgraded recently is because my friend, shout out to Angela, said.
Look at that camera.
Oh, shout out to Angela. Literally said, why are you still opening the phone with your thumb? And I got embarrassed.
Yo, that's crazy.
Who cares,
what?
y'all?
Hold on. Yes, that is true. I can't even put my thumb anywhere in those phones.
That's why the CIA and the FBI know all y'all business and they don't know mine.
I don't got nothing. Shit, all my business out there. My mom's a crackhead. Dad was a fucking criminal. What they want to know?
All right, then let's get into my business.
Let's get into yeah. How you doing? You gotta hold the mic right here.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna just hold it like this the whole time.
Or just loosen up.
I'm loose, like, but you know what? Is this good? Okay.
Yeah, you do a lot of public speaking though, right?
I know, but usually I ain't gotta hold my own fucking mic.
You don't gotta hold your own goddamn mic public speaking? What they do? They got somebody doing it for you?
It's in front of like a lecture hall or something.
Oh, like, this ain't prestigious enough.
This is like hip hop. Like
we're like, yo, what's up, yo? Yeah.
Okay. I'm loose now. This motherfucker giving me all kinds of instructions for his podcast. Have a good phone. Have a good computer. Hold the mic like this.
I know, but once this podcast really takes off, I can just have you back and have somebody do that for you. We can just have somebody hold the mic in your face. Just get like a little intern and they just be a mic stand.
Okay, that's a bet. As long as you don't make fun of me for the next year because you hurt me.
No, I'm sorry. My bad.
I'm joking.
So, Angela, you're from Philly originally.
Yes.
What part of Philly, though?
I'm from Southwest Philly. Born in West Philly, raised in Southwest Philly.
Southwest Philly? I feel like that's a different breed in Southwest Philly, man.
Man.
Y'all by the airport. Y'all been sucking in all them fumes and shit.
When you growing up, you're thinking it's so cool to live by the airport because it's like free entertainment. But then you're like, oh, it's loud as shit. Like, not until you leave.
What is it like? You're near King Sesson Avenue and all that shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember people in other parts of Philly didn't know the streets went up as high as they did. Like, because we went up to 84th Street. They were like, you don't live in New York. Ain't no 84th Street. I'm like, yeah, there is by the airport.
Yo, I usually, one of my first like official girlfriends, because you know you just date around. You're a kid. Like, it ain't real until I have a pregnancy scare. That's how I look at relationships. It ain't real unless y'all in terror together. Like, our lives are over. This shit is done. So it ain't a relationship until somebody fuck up.
Yeah, until you take off the condom. I'm thinking, no, that's true because I was literally, somebody was saying something about me coming to New York. I'm in New York now. I don't know if people know, but and they were like, oh, it's so crazy there. Crime is crazy. I was like, do you know how many men I fucked unprotected and I'm still alive?
Yo, God got something planned for you.
Right?
God got something. God got something planned for you. Whenever I look back at all my fuck ups, I'm like, I'm still here. What the fuck, God?
Seriously.
What's your plan? Tell me. Let me stop lingering, please.
God.
So Southwest Philly. What was it like growing up? First, when did you move to Southwest? What age?
Woo! We moved to Southwest. My whole family, like everybody's in West or Southwest Philly. Moving from West to Southwest is like a whole goodbye party.
It is because it's two. For people who don't know Philly, it's two completely different types of culture. I've never lived in Southwest. I lived in West Philly. I lived in North Philly, and my adult life I lived in South Philly, and I liked South Philly over all of them.
Wow.
No shit, and I lived in Mount Airy. I would actually take
Mount
that back.
Airy.
I like Mount Airy better. I used to stalk. Me and my friends, we found out where Terrence Howard lived, and we used to ride our bikes around there.
We moved to Southwest Philly because, it's so funny how many people didn't grow up in row homes with like one bathroom between 3 floors,
Yeah.
And so my mom and my father found a corner house, and they were like, "Oh shit, we moving on up," because we had a corner yard too.
The corner houses normally the bigger houses.
It was great. Then, so we moved there when I was maybe when my brother was born. So maybe like around 4 or 5.
Oh, so you don't really even remember your friends or any of that shit?
No, we moved so much. That was the longest house we stayed in. Then my mom divorced my father when we were like 8.
Yeah.
When I was 8. And so then that was the end of that. And then we moved like every couple years.
So why'd y'all have to move? It was his house?
No, because she's a woman and because he's an abusive ass man.
Oh, so she didn't even really move. She ran.
No, she was like, "Okay, kids, get dressed like you're going to school, but don't start crying when we're not going to school." Because it was like, and I know people who haven't had a background like this are probably like, "That's so tragic," but it was just like,
I've had a background like that, so that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah,
and I want you to go in depth with it.
It was like an adventure, and we were like, "Oh, where are we going?" It was like grandma's house. Well, that shit ain't fun.
Goddamn, grandma ain't nothing but spaghetti. Grandma can't cook for shit.
Grandma, as looking back, grandma did not want her daughter and her 2 kids moving back in the house, right? So grandma and grandpa just sitting there, probably, I think they were in their 60s, just having sex, having a nice life, kids going, and here we come. Hey!
Just enjoying life. And then y'all come back ripping and running.
Oh, we couldn't do shit in that house.
Like what? Give me something you couldn't do.
Okay, we went from being very rich, I'm using that word funnily, or whatever the word is, but to...
Y'all were hood rich.
We had a side
to have
yard.
A corner house, because the corner house usually have all the barbecues and shit.
Man,
you had a lot of barbecue.
We had a Mr. Turtle pool out there. We had barbecues. People would come by.
Yeah. So you went from being hood rich to what type of house did your grandparents have?
They lived in deep West Philly. If you know West Philly, 56 in Lancaster.
That's deep. I know 56.
And when they bought the house, it was dope because it was still a white people neighborhood. Then the white people were like, "We're going to move out and rent to the black people and not fix shit up." And
Damn. Are your grandparents white or black?
They're black.
Okay.
So it was like the hood. I mean, it was the hood by the time we moved in. And it was like, they ain't had no side backyard. They just had a backyard where you could see what everybody else is doing.
You're like, damn, y'all got shit too?
But it was, I don't know if this is just like older, like they had the plastic on the couch and my grandma had her little figurines. And,
I remember that little tchotchkes and shit.
And so you couldn't play in the house at all.
At all. You couldn't even jump or make any loud movement because those fucking little the figurines would rattle and just like, who in there jumping?
Right? I mean,
stop that jumping.
My mom never got on us for how much toilet paper we used. Then we moved to my grandmom's house. Oh my God, I'll never forget. I feel so bad at saying this. Sorry, brother, for this story I'm about to tell.
Okay.
I used, I think 10 squares because it was like a big shit. That's what you do, right?
10 squares. No, I'm just trying to think. That's a lot of toilet paper.
And not only that.
That's like 2 wraps.
Oh, God, I know.
Okay.
And then I sprayed all the, just because I liked the smell of it. I was 9. I was 8 or 9.
You was going overboard. You was going OD.
Just having fun in the bathroom, just spraying my shit. My grandma was like.
You know how much aerosol was like a new invention back then, right?
Dude. You talking about old people who kept everything in cans down in the basement that you were scared to go in because you wasn't allowed down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything they had, it was precious to them. Mm-hmm. So I used the whole can, and then my grandfather was like, "Who used the toilet paper and all the spray?" I was like, "He did."
You snitched. God damn, you threw your brother under the bus. Did they whoop his ass?
Because my grandfather got switches off the tree. That wasn't like a regular hey, my mom's gonna hit me with a wet washcloth. Like, that was like a real beating. I was not getting that, boy.
No,
I
a
am so
switch-
sorry, brother.
If you have never got beat by a switch, consider yourself lucky, blessed. Your family probably loves you. Like, if they didn't follow it up with anything else, like just because you didn't get a switch don't mean your family didn't love you. But a switch was different. A switch, that's like the thinnest, most fucking lethal piece of wood. What type of tree did they have? Did they have that? There was this tree in the back. I'm trying to think. I used to live with this one foster mom, and she used to do that switch shit. And she had like this. What's the tree where the shit fucking where like the branches hang down?
I don't know. He had trees. He was hood rich too.
No, you didn't have trees. Come on now, West Philly got trees.
We have like.
I used to live in Yaden. All that.
Yaden has trees.
Yeah.
West Philly, you have to like the anticipation of a beating from a switch is damn near as bad because grandpa don't like to leave the house, but he would walk.
And he would find a switch. So the switches were in the backyard because she had one of them dangly trees. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it's one of them trees where all the branches kind of just hang down and shit like that. And they're like long and skinny, but it has like, once you like clear everything off of it, it has like this shiny, like it's like leather almost. And when they go, that shit be like that, like.
God damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't even know if my brother remembers that. I hope he don't watch this podcast.
You didn't watch? You didn't sit there and watch your damage?
He didn't do it in the house. Like, he took him to the backyard. Or there was like another room. Like,
those are the worst whoopings where you have to change destinations. Just whoop my ass here, or why make me walk to the ass whooping?
I feel like shit now.
Yo, you should.
I was 9.
This motherfucker had to go get his ass whooped for nothing.
I am surprised he don't hate me to this day. I love the hell out of my brother. But that's like one of those things I look back at like, damn, you lucky your brother speaks to you.
Yo, what was the wet rag shit? Did it ever really hurt?
No, because my mom, it's funny because you asked me, you were like, are your grandparents white or black? Yeah. My dad was white from the hood.
Okay.
And so my mom is about a little darker than you, and she wasn't used to beating lighter children.
I don't know. What side of the hand do I use?
So she was like, what's all this red shit?
All these marks on you? Oh.
Yes. And so I remember my mom's friends, like she had all black friends growing up Southwest. They were like, schools are getting on you. You can't be sending that light-skinned child to school with red welts now. And I was like, yes. They were like, we have the answer. Wet washcloth.
Damn.
And I was like, damn it, man.
Versus just sit her down and make her read a book. Or just give her a good talking to. It's like, no, we're going to figure out a better way to fuck her up.
But you know what? Before when we were hood rich, I got sat down and talked to. But once you got a single mom and she's stressed out and it's like, you got to learn a lesson real quick.
You are her punching bag.
Like,
you are her goddamn punching bag.
But she would always apologize. And, it would be like, if she got beat with a switch, for her, it was a step up that she wasn't using switches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing better than my parents.
Where your mom from? She's from Philly too?
She's from Philly too, yeah. Her family's from North Carolina.
Oh, so, all right, that makes sense. Because I feel like all that beating shit is really a Southern thing. I know so many black kids that didn't get beat. And the common denominator is their parents are nowhere from the South.
Well, yeah, her father, and I think like a lot of people, he moved up from North Carolina with the mom because my mom said they were about to get, both of them was about to get lynched because my grandfather wasn't playing that can't sit somewhere on the bus and all that, can't look at a white woman.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
So I was like, I understand keeping your kids in line if you literally just don't want them to get lynched. You know what I mean? But I'm like, ain't nobody lynching us.
We in Philly, ain't nobody lynching us. Damn, they just couldn't shake that shit.
Man, it was like, what you learn, you pass down. But goddamn, that's why I ain't have kids.
Damn, you never want to have kids?
No,
you don't gotta beat them.
But just the stress of you gotta know so much, and the people that I know that have kids are always stressed out, and it's like not only their physical, financial, emotional needs. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
Like, I got nieces and nephews, and so I know I can only fuck them up, but so much because I don't spend that much time.
You don't even gotta hit your nieces and nephews. I've only had to hit my nephew one time. Never hit my other nieces and nephews. I only had to hit my nephew once because I took him bowling, which is fun, right? Little black kids love bowling. You just get to throw a ball at a bunch of pins. I took him bowling. He hated it. he was going to different lanes, eating people's shit. I promise you, like he was so quick. He was faster than I thought. Like I'm like, I can keep an eye on this kid. I went to go get shoes, came back, he was gone. Tracked him down. He over there pouring a picture of somebody else's soda. I'm like, I go, come here, like get over here, come here right now. He just sitting there like, fucking still pouring soda and shit. So I grab him, go get him, give him a good talking to. We're bowling. Next thing I know, he's up again somewhere else, a part of somebody else's pizza party. Fucking eating pizza. So now I'm like, yo, like you tripping, like sit down, stop doing all that, and then start throwing temperatures. No, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yo, like I'm the fun one in the family. Like, why are you treating me like this? You beat him for the No, so I'm like, so then he swings on me.
Oh.
He take a good swing at me, duck that shit, right? Cause I ain't gonna get fucking stolen by a little kid. So he swings on me, I duck it. Like, not duck it, but, like, move out of the way. Now I grab him, and I got to take him to the car. My wife is there looking because she's never had to deal with a kid in this capacity. She's like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And we got my guy kid with us, and he's never acted like that either. So now I take this kid. I have to pick him up like a briefcase because he's, like, kicking and screaming. I grab him by, like, I literally, like, grab him like this. Like, just pick him up like he a fucking surfboard or something. And then I'm walking out with him in my side. He's already made friends within 10 minutes. So they're like, what's going on? Some little girl gets too close and he kicks her in the face. He kicks a little girl in the face. That shit was so funny. It was a mistake because he's just kicking his legs. So as I'm carrying him out, some old lady, she's like, I have to stop you. I just have to know, is this your kid? I'm like, it's my nephew. But would you think I really be stealing the loudest kid in here? This ain't even the cutest one. This is the kid you think I'm gonna steal. If I had to kidnap any kid, I'm gonna kidnap the one that look like they worth something. I'm gonna take the one that look like somebody want them back.
Oh
so
my God.
She's like, okay, all right. Take him to the car, throw him in the car, like, and I'm not even ready to leave. I'm just like, yo, let's talk. You gotta calm down. He just starts kicking the window of the back seat.
No!
Yo, the car was like, bang, like 3 good kicks, like bang, bang, bang. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, yo, like chill. He's like, bang. So I just had to fucking give him a good one. Like right to the arm, like boom. He like, all right,
That's not a beating. That's a punch. He tried to punch you, punched him back.
But I don't like hitting. I don't like hitting. I don't even like hitting kids. And I'm like, it took so much. That fucked up my weekend. The fact that I had to him. Like, I had what is it?
PTSD.
I said PSD. I had PSD, y'all.
Yo, I mean, I'm literally.
I had to hit him like a good. It was harder. Put it like this. It was harder than I would like to have to apply the pressure. Because he was kicking the fuck out that window.
But it was one hit.
Yeah, one hit.
And it was to prevent the window. It stopped the behavior. It's when people go off and they get into that whirlwind of hitting and you're like, this ain't really about me using the toilet paper, is it? This is about something that happened in 1952. Like,
no, because you don't even know how much he had. He probably stole that toilet paper from work. Right? Your granddad went through so much to get that toilet paper. He probably stole it from work. He's probably thinking about it's probably the softest toilet paper he's had in a while. Because what is this, like the 70s?
God, this was the 80s.
This is the 80s?
Damn, he's like, what is this, the 70s? I mean, damn. I mean, I'm a little older than you, but I said I was 9. Was you born during the civil rights movement, Ants?
Is your mom college educated?
My mom is dead, so thanks for saying is instead of
was she?
I'm gonna fuck with you just like you.
Look, well, you may be one of those people to be like, well, her spirit is still here.
No.
You know, people who don't want to let go. My mom's still with me. It's spirit. You think your mom wanted to die and then still hang around you? No.
Dude, yo, that is exactly what I said. Like when my mom first passed, I was like, yeah, why don't she talk to me? And I thought, she finally got away from her kids. For the first 5 years, I'm going to just let her enjoy it.
Let her enjoy it. Don't call her for shit.
Right.
Don't call your mom for shit. Can she rest in peace? That's the problem. They say rest in peace, but they still bug these niggas.
They don't mean it. I'm literally mad at my mom. Like, white people get the lights flickered on and off for them.
Yo, no, black ghosts don't. now that we're really thinking about it, all paranormal activity movies and all that shit are always like black. They're always white ghosts. White ghosts linger. Fucking black ghosts are out. They're like, I'm free.
Right.
I'm gone. Fuck this shit.
I remember thinking about that when the Reverend, who didn't even know her, was speaking at her memorial, and he was like, "No more bills, no more racism." I was like, "Damn, I want to die."
Right, like sign me up. Is there a painless way for this shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, she ain't worried about me. And I forgot your whole ass question. Let's see, what was it? What was my mom college education? Yes, and then had to move back to the hood. She went to 4 years. She got her bachelor's in nursing. She was a nurse. She ain't make that much money, but she was,
Yeah, nursing was the thing. Nursing is still the thing in Philly, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seemed like everybody was a damn.
Everybody had nurse, no doctors. No doctors, all nurses.
Yup. So I remember, but that was the equivalent of having made it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, we had the side backyard.
Side backyard was still the shit. How many, did you ever have a birthday party in the side backyard?
Oh my God, yes. And it's funny because when you say hood rich, like growing up, you really think like, we doing a little bit better than everybody else.
You don't even need much as a kid to feel rich. It's just like you don't know the concept of money. You just know it. Do you have access to things you want? You know what I mean? Is your clothes clean? All that shit. Do you go to fun places? If the answer is no, you poor.
But you know what? My mom was not one of those moms. Like, I found out once we had to move back to the hood with her mom.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I got to start wearing like Nikes and shit like that. My mom did not play that. She was like, we are a one family house.
Okay.
I'm the only one making the money.
Yeah.
And so we got like the bottom of, they used to sell these sneakers in the supermarkets that look like Reeboks.
I know what you're talking about. Luckily for me, I've never had to wear supermarket sneakers. But go ahead.
Every time we went to the store, I would buy the sneakers. I would get the sneakers I wanted and be like, Mom, can I get some white out for school? Knowing I didn't need white out for school because I would white out where it said balloons and write Reebok real careful. But that shit always wore off and I got teased anyway.
Yeah,
but it was like,
nobody came up to you and like, what the fuck? I knew that shit wasn't real.
I was so corny in school.
Have you ever seen your parents fight? Like not each other, but people in the street.
Oh, hell no. My mom would rather die than be caught. Like, she's one of those keep everything in the house. Grandpa can beat you with the switch in the house, but when we go outside, it's very much like, again, you're not going to be the black mom with the two obviously half white kids rocking around making a scene. Like,
oh, see, that's not my mom will throw hands. My mom probably still will throw hands. And my mom's probably like 60 now. I'm pretty sure she'll find a reason.
That's hilarious.
My mom would throw hands.
I would throw hands for my mom. I would get mad for her because she didn't fight too much. I was like, this life is hard. What the fuck?
You would fight for your mom?
I would get mad for her. I wouldn't. She would be so embarrassed if I actually started fighting. But just like, people cutting in front of her or just the normal shit that women have to deal with every day. I would get mad. Like, I would at least say something. Fuck is wrong with you? My mom would be like, Angela, stop.
Stop now. So wait, was your dad the rowdy one? Where do you get that fire? If your mom was so like reserved, is it your dad? Is your white side?
I think I got the fire because my mom was so reserved and I saw how much shit she had to put up with. But my dad, of course, he was the only white boy in the hood.
He had to fight everybody.
My mom said, I just thought he was light skinned. I didn't know he was black.
She didn't know.
Because his mom.
She didn't look at his hair.
His mom married a black dude. So they lived there with the black guy. She moved in.
But
so that was his
dad.
That was his stepdad.
Okay,
but I said, Mom, ain't no way she thought he was black. Like, he has straight, damn near red hair.
But wait, isn't Mariah Carey mixed?
Well, you know what? That's a good ass point.
So it could have been,
damn.
It could have been the Logic Mariah Carey.
And people be like, look at Justin Timberlake's hair. He's black.
No, Justin Timberlake is white. There's some people who there's some people who you can't tell, but Justin Timberlake is definitely white. Like,
but it's true. We'd be like, damn, I guess you're right. All right. Sorry, Mom. You could have thought he was black.
Yeah. Like, I seen the pictures of some of these white people back in the day. Some of these motherfuckers was passing. Some of them were like,
I gotta say, in the 70s, I look at the pictures like, my mom and my dad look like hippies to me in those pictures. Like, they look like, just like Woodstock. But I guess everybody dressed like that with the bell bottoms and stuff. I'm like,
were they fun, though? Before your parents split, were there times that you could see where you're like, oh, this is a happy family?
No.
From inception, I was like, what the fuck did I just come into?
It wasn't bad, and of course there's great moments, but there's also like the shit that your parents try to hide from you, like dad ain't working, mom working doubles, and so there wasn't that love, but there was always that they always concentrated on just get through school, you won't have to live in the hood like us until mom divorces me, then you go back to the but it was I always remember growing up thinking adult life sucks. Like,
what do you think about adult life now?
It sucks, but you can find your moments of happiness, especially when you don't have no kids. But
you right though.
It's you can find your own family, which is what I've kind of done. But yeah, man, I'm like adulthood does suck, but childhood ain't too good either.
Yeah, it depends. Like I feel like all you really need is space and food to have a good childhood. Space and food and very little ass whoopings.
That's your foster child talking, because I'm like space, food, and love and emotional support.
That love shit, I don't need that.
No, I started off life with space and food. We had the side backyard.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh shit, all that other shit.
You didn't need that other shit.
Like, we just living check to check, and they don't like each other. So
that's always the worst though, when you can see the parents aren't working out. But did they ever try to play favorites? Like, did they ever try to use your love to win arguments and shit?
I'll say my mom didn't do that. My dad did. I remember the one time I told my mom, this don't have nothing to do with your question, but I would say to my mom, I remember she did something. She bought something she wasn't supposed to buy herself. I was like, I'm going to tell dad if you don't get me this toy. What the fuck was I thinking? Like, right? So, and I just,
tripping.
I know.
Get the wet rag out.
I know, exactly. But it's, but I remember my dad used to say little things as a kid that I would get, like, he would wake us up to take us to school because my mom was working a double because his ass wasn't working. Yeah. And so then he would be like, I hope you don't wash dishes like your mom. Like, she don't know how to wash a dish. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm 8, and I know that you don't wash dishes either. You know, like,
wash shit. You don't wash those dishes. You don't put food on them dishes.
So I just remember being like, damn, you mean. Like,
damn.
But so whenever I hear people say things like, I'm going to stay together for the kids, don't do that.
Don't get the fuck out of here.
Like, the kids know what's going on. We wish we were taller so we could punch daddy for saying you don't wash dishes correctly. Like, so now that you asked about my happy ass childhood.
It sounds like you had a happy childhood.
No, it was, to be honest, when I went to that rich school, I was like, oh, these kids, they don't have love either, a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? They had like a Porsche at 16. But when they would read their personal essays, like, I haven't seen my dad in 6 months. And
I'd be like, you still got a car out of the deal.
That's exactly how I felt. But now I'm like, what that car? Like, I don't care about the car.
Like the car?
Because I got to know my mom in her later years. And we talked about this stuff. But just like, but them, like, rich kids, it's like, I think their parents really, really thought that just by giving them cars, that was enough. And I'm like, now they're all on heroin. So we see how
But they can afford it, though.
Damn it, you right. Stop. I'm trying to look on the bright side of growing up in the hood.
They can afford that heroin. Did you have any rich friends that would come visit you in the hood?
I had one. And this was in the 80s, the late 80s. I think we were still mad at what was called Russia at that time, right?
Yeah.
So the closest thing to a black girl I had in my class was a Russian girl.
Okay, all right.
And everybody would look at her like, communist, and they look at me like nigger, and so like,
look at the nigger and the communist hanging together. What you talking about?
I'll never forget her. I hope she's watching this. So it's the truth. So we had our little button. She came to my house, and I remember thinking like she's going to tell everybody how my house is like we still got wall to wall carpet and like none of ours.
What type? How thick of wall carpet is cool? But what type of? It depends on the type of carpet.
It was.
If it's that hard, is it the short hard shit?
It's the industrial stuff they usually put in hotels because we lived in a rental, and so they ain't changed the carpet every time somebody moved out.
That's that shit that exfoliate the bottom of your foot.
Yes, yo.
What are you talking about?
And when you pour and you only got things to play with like slinkies, and you follow the slinky down the stairs, and you all cut up. Like,
what the fuck happened? The bottom of my feet. Why am I losing so much skin on the bottom of my feet?
And I remember thinking she gonna go and tell, because everyone had really proper dogs. We had a blind dog my mom found in the street. So, and I also think the dog was just to get us out the house because she'd be like, walk the dog. So she could
Walk the dog while I argue with your father.
so she could have some peace. And so like, man, but then she went, her name was Ariana. She went back and was like, Angela has a great house. And I thought, I don't know if she's lying or she just really thinks it's cool because it's like a row. But I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. He was like, yep. Did you ever see her crib?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God. Now you got me thinking.
Yeah, because she probably was the worst. If she came from Russia,
you know what?
She's probably living in a shoebox.
And she had to hang with my ass. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, were they Russian Jews?
I don't think
so. Ones that had it hard.
I don't know, but is she whatever kind of Russian she might have been, but I just know that they did not like her and they did not like me.
Yeah, y'all could have did something together. I don't know. Maybe you can write a book with her.
Well, you know, it's funny. I think about her a lot now because I'm like, oh, now we don't like that part of the country again. Like,
yeah,
I'm like,
hey,
everything is circle. She's like, I'm back fighting the war. Like, nigger. No.
Wait, have you ever got called nigger as a kid?
I was as a kid, as an adult.
All right, tell me about it as a kid and then tell me about it as an adult.
Okay, you know, growing up in the 60s, like you said, growing up in the 80s in Philly, that was the start of, I guess they would call it reverse gentrification, where it was like
reverse gentrification.
Where it was like the neighborhood was mostly Irish and Italian.
Yeah.
And then my mom and dad were like, we're an interracial couple, so we're going to move right on the dividing line between the black and the white neighborhood.
Yeah.
This will be safe, but then the black line just kept moving over.
Yeah.
And so then it was...
What's that called? Is that called white flight?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that's what it's called. It's so
white
funny.
Flight.
Because no one explained that to me. But then about 6 blocks from us, an interracial couple moved in and a black couple.
Okay.
And the white people on their block threw a fire, whatever you call it, like a Molotov
cocktail bar? I said cocktail bar. Molotov cocktail bar? They fucking threw a Molotov cocktail?
Yes. And the whole block burned up. This was 60-something and Elmwood. You can literally look it up. I still like read about it online sometimes. I'm like, did this really happen?
Damn.
And then, I mean, literally, they wanted those people out. So I'm like, y'all burnt up the whole block?
They burnt up the whole block?
I was maybe 11 or 12, and I remember riding by the burnt out houses every day. And my mom would tell us because the KKK started recruiting around there. Obviously, they were like, hey, this is ripe for the racists.
They probably burnt the shit down.
I think it was regular people. Those people did not play. I went to the first Catholic school. I went with them, and I was like, woo, little Jimmy, whatever his last name was, like, they were rough.
Yeah.
Like, they were rough.
I want to ask you about that. Right.
But so then they, my mom used to tell me around that time, like, because we had to walk from the trolley, cross another white neighborhood to get to our neighborhood. Like, if you see a group of white boys.
How long was that walk from the trolley to your house? Like,
it was like 5 blocks, but they were like
5 blocks of white? 5 white blocks?
But you know, so my mom was always like, if white boys start chasing y'all, because we stayed in groups, you know, run to this field. This field was like the neutral ground where you knew some black people would come and help you. And so it was like almost a daily thing. After that, it was like, nigger. Like,
wait, did you ever get to the point where like if you get to the field and there's no black people helping you, like you ever get to the field and there's no blacks out?
You know what's crazy though? I think
there's like a resident black
just sitting there
standing guard.
They're just listening out for the N word.
He's on white watch. What is this? The White Watch. This is Game of Thrones about. Game of Thrones is actually about your upbringing.
I'm done. I never watched it.
You never watched Game of Thrones?
No, I have never watched it. Don't make fun of me. I'm also black. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I'm black too.
I'm fucking with you. There used to be shows we didn't watch.
I know, but some of these white shows,
I know.
God damn.
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was You asked me the first time I got called nigga. That was the first time. Last time was in a
writer's room. But did you know what it meant?
Yo, hell yeah.
No, because I think the first time I got called nigger was in group home, but I never took it as a racial slur only because these white kids that were also in the group home with me, like, they weren't better than me.
Yeah, I'd be confused too.
I mean?
Like, what the?
So it wasn't like and I don't even think they said nigger. I think it was like more of a white kid trying to say nigga. Like, more like trying to be down and be like, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Oh, my
but
mom.
not nigger. Like, you stupid, dirty nigger. It was never that.
R's was straight hard R, and it was
R.
crazy because my mom, she had to teach us, like, especially once we moved to the all black hood.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, I don't know what anybody told you about this biracial stuff. You just light skin. There's a bunch of people that look like you, and we're all niggers. And I was like,
what age was this? What age did she teach
8,
you?
9, like when they got divorced.
Oh, so she didn't teach you, but she didn't tell you about race until your white dad left.
Not really, like
Your
not.
white dad was probably the protection. The little
And it was
girl.
no, I'm wrong
yeah.
because people called me, the white people in that neighborhood would call me a zebra, and my dad went around to everybody's door who did it, and I remember standing with him like, yeah, somebody about to get fucked up.
Yeah.
One kid got beat by his parents. One parent was like, I don't care, and the other
Shut the door. I don't give a fuck, you zebra. That zebra out of here.
right. But then I remember moving to my grandmom's house, and she literally was. She'd be on the phone. I got a house full of Negroes, and
She would say that?
because that's what the word was when she grew up.
Negro.
And so I was like, oh, I guess we really are. Like,
Yeah, you were like, God damn.
Negroes using my toilet paper.
Did you feel bad?
About what?
Like when you became aware of your ethnicity and your race, like it's like a aha moment, right? It's like, oh shit, I'm not just a kid. I'm a black kid. I'm a biracial kid, and this, that, and the third.
It
Like,
was
that discovery.
I remember thinking America is very confusing because, like, and it's true because, like, it's all based on slavery. It's like they wanted people like me to be able to be slaves too. They were like, I raped a black woman. Oh shit, she pregnant. Like, put them in the field, act like it never happened. You know what I'm saying? Hide them in the house. So it was like I didn't
put it on there.
I didn't understand why it was like I was one thing in certain areas and another thing, and my mom was telling me this to make sure I was safe. You do not want to go in the hood being like, I'm half white.
Yeah.
You know? So it was just like, this is a weird place. Adulthood. I just remembered, I'll figure it out when I'm grown. I still ain't figured it out.
With the biracial thing?
No, I mean, the biracial thing is just so insane to me. Just because when I was growing up, that's not how I was raised. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
It's a new concept, though. Like the concept of living this, like, this proud to be mixed thing. And you know what I mean? Like, and not having to choose a side.
You know what? And see,
it's new, right?
It's new. And that's for people who feel like that. But since my life, since 8 and a half, I've been only with a single black mom. That's who raised me. So, and I don't even know where any of my white relatives are. Like,
oh, they disappeared when your dad left. When your dad skedaddled, they all got that same phone call. Like, all right, guess we don't have to act like we give a fuck anymore.
So it's just weird. Like, I get it for people who feel two different ways, but I also think we still in this country. Like, please, if your son is biracial and has some texture to his hair, or your daughter, teach them. You know, not the whole world ain't gonna think like that.
Me and my wife talk about this. She's like, we're gonna have, because my wife's Colombian. She's like, we're gonna have a biracial kid. I'm like, no, it's just gonna be black, regardless of how you see it. It's still gonna be a black kid. If you teach the Spanish, it's just gonna be a black kid that knows Spanish.
Is she straight from Colombia?
She's from Queens, but she's first generation American.
I find that so, because I remember going to Brazil and them being like, I checked off black on something. They were like, black? You know, because it's so different everywhere, you know, and it was just like, that was the first time I was like, oh. And so I see people who aren't raised in the U.S. system being like, what is this weird race thing y'all got going on?
Like, what's this? Y'all mixed? What are you? What are you?
But it makes for good stories.
It does make for good stories. Because you wrote a book about it. Remember? I can't even repeat the joke.
Yo.
I called your book the one with the pockets.
Yo, that was so damn
She has
funny.
a book. She has a book out.
I have 2 books. See,
she has
still
2
don't
books.
Remember.
No, I do remember. You working on your 3rd book, right?
Yep.
Working on your 3rd book, The Broke Diaries. That's the one that I said was about the pockets. Is that you on the cover?
No, everybody asked that. I have no idea. I just remember thinking, I'm going to get so many more interviews because they think that's me on the cover. Because the girl was like showing her stomach and her
I'm
empty
like,
pockets.
girl, with a body like that, you shouldn't be broke.
That was not me. I don't even know who that was.
Wait, you allowed to do that with a book, like a book cover? You can just use random artwork?
I mean, whoever Random House picked for it. But you know what's funny? You don't even, unless your contract says so, you don't even get to choose what your book is called. You don't have final say. Yeah, it's so funny because I didn't want
I didn't know that.
I didn't want my second book to be called Mixed, but Barnes and Noble, who was the biggest book buyer in the mid 2000s, was like, we'll buy more copies if you call it Mixed, My Life in Black and White. I'm like, but that shit ain't funny. You know, like it ain't funny.
Yeah, that's just plain and simple.
Yeah, I was like, ain't nobody gonna notice it's funny. But I was so tired after writing the whole book. I was like, maybe they know better than me.
Yeah.
Don't.
They didn't know. What would you to call it if you
I
had
wanted to call it White Daddies, David Hasselhoff, and Double Dutch. Because
Why David Hasselhoff? What happened to David
because
Hasselhoff?
my mom, when I was still living in the mostly white neighborhood, going to the white Catholic school, it was the first time they had us do a Black History essay. And my mom was like, I was like, Mom, who can I write about? And she was still like trying to teach me that like, she told me, I don't even remember, this is in my book, but I don't even remember how we came up with it. She just was a tired Black mom. She said, David Hasselhoff, write about David Hasselhoff.
You had to write a Black History report. She told you to write about David Hasselhoff.
I was so
Hasselhoff. Don't give it away.
Yo, my last name is Nissel. It's German, and I'm Black, so I couldn't Hasselhoff.
Oh, okay.
And he was tanner than me, and he had like that thick curly perm hair.
Yeah.
And I remember going into school like, yeah, these white kids don't like me now, but when they find out Knight Rider is Black, I'm gonna get some respect. I did my whole. Everybody else was like Martin Luther King. I gotta do this. Martin Luther King. I was like, today I would like to tell you about the great Black man that is Knight Rider. I got an A too.
Yo, you got an A?
I'm not gonna watch TV. She ain't know what I was talking about.
No Black people.
And she probably didn't want to do that thing.
Yeah.
It was around the time that they made Martin Luther King a holiday, and everybody was mad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mad they got a day off.
Yeah, oh my God, that made me cry. David Hasselhoff. And I'm pretty sure you put a lot of work into that.
I knew I was going to be the most popular girl in school. Like, he was the most popular thing on TV, and my mom just told me he was Black.
When did you find out David Hasselhoff wasn't Black?
God. Oh, when the other kids in the class told me, like, during recess, you can't say nothing while someone's giving a presentation. But I remember them. The boys were pissed. It's like when you tell white people The Wire isn't 100% accurate. Fuck that! Like, you're destroying my entertainment.
Damn.
But I was like, he is. My mom said he is.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
That just shows don't work hard to get an A. Just lie, kids.
Just lie. God damn, that made me cry. David, how do you spent a lot of time on this shit? That would have been a great name for a book.
Yeah, well.
Are you allowed to tell me what this third one is called? Or
so far, now I learned to get in my contracts that we have joint say, me and the publisher, over what the book is called. So far, it's called Good Grief, Stay Black and Die.
Good Grief, Stay Black and Die?
Good Grief, Stay Black and Die. It was going to be called Good Grief. My mom's dead, passed the bread, because when your mom dies before everybody else's, and like you go to people's houses, maybe you went through this as a like.
Let me see. Go.
Like people would be like, "Oh, why aren't you at your mom's house for Christmas?" And what you supposed to say? Like,
my mom can't cook. That's why. I went over to my mom's house one time.
That's true.
Yeah, my mom had like this setup right here. She used to live in like shit like this, like little one red room.
Fun of my hotel room.
But this is a hotel room. Some people in Philly, this was their life. This was how they lived. They had a little ass TV with like a little hot plate. My mom can't make a whole dinner on a hot plate. You pushing it. She would like try her best. Like, cause sometimes we would get like weekend visits or whatever to go over there and like chill with my mom. And me and my little sister, we would cry the most cause we were like, we know you mean well, but goddamn, why we got to sleep head to toe. We got to sleep or I got to sleep on the floor cause I'm a boy. And then the women get to sleep in the bed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yo, we all did that. That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh my God. I would sleep with my mom and my brother got the whole room to himself.
Yep. No, never got the whole room to myself. I'll just have to sleep on the floor, sleep at the edge of the bed, and sometimes they forget and get up in the middle of the night and step on my head or step on my stomach. You ever?
But you know what?
You ever get stepped on in the middle of the night?
Well, once my mom bought us bunk beds because she was like, why am I sharing my bed?
Yeah.
So we got bunk beds that we tore up because you would do flips off them and all.
Yeah, bunk beds were the cause of a lot of concussions, chipped teeth, a lot of that. I grew up with a lot of kids with like those scars on their eyebrows. And that's bunk beds. You know what I'm talking about? Like
that's
people.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I never put that together.
Yeah. When I see a person with like a scar on their eyebrow, I'm like bunk bed. They're like, how'd you know? We always doing dumb shit on bunk beds.
My brother has a scar on his face. It ain't from the bunk bed, but it's because we would always look at the people on TV like, happy homes have a dog. And my mom would just go to the pound and get us a dog and then usually attack my brother. Because he was so, like, he was just, the dog was like, I've been in a cage. I've been in a cage for a year.
And he's like, I'm going to bite this one. I'm going to get this light skin one. I'm going to get a good chunk of white meat.
I remember she got us all dressed up for Easter. And then my brother came in the room, just blood. He was
the
like,
fucking
Coco got me.
and it just bit his face.
Yeah, 'cause that was my mom would always say, it's your fault. Don't.
Yeah, a lot of dogs attack kids and back in the 80s.
Because you don't teach your people.
Yeah.
They think that you could be like a cartoon dog. Like, we
Yeah,
didn't know.
I got attacked by a dog. You see my pinky right here?
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, it was a little, what is that, like a little Shih Tzu or some shit?
The little ones.
It was a little dog, and we talked about it earlier, that basement that no kid want to go down.
Yes.
It was, you know, you got family members, you call them aunt and all that shit, but they're not really aunt. They're just like the oldest cousin in your house.
Yes.
So my eldest cousin, she had a little dog in the basement, and we would have to go down there and pick up the poop and all that shit and feed it. And I went down there trying to feed this dog, and the fucking dog, I put the bowl down, and the dog just got me. The dog like and grabbed on to my pinky. I never got stitches, but you can see how deep that you see the wound. That dog fucking grabbed that hand. Was like,
If I had to live in a dark basement,
I would bite this nigga too. I don't know who's responsible for me being down here.
it's better to be in a pound. Like,
No. Basement, like very little windows, like maybe like one window, and the dog would like curl up in the light just to get some sunlight and shit.
so
Just
sad. My dog. See, that's why again I don't have kids. My dog is so spoiled. He'll
Yeah.
never know that life.
What you got? What type of dog you
A
got?
dog. Well, a dog that my husband saw on Twitter. It was like, we gotta rescue him.
Oh, you got a Twitter dog?
So, wait. So he was like, oh my God, it's gonna be. My husband has this thing that dogs are. He thinks that like everything's like Disneyland. Like
Okay.
the mouse will talk to you. Like
Yeah.
hey buddy, how you doing? They don't understand
They
you.
don't. No, I take that back. Yes, they do. I have a dog. When I talk to my dog like a human, she understands. When I go get off and do all this shit, and I'm mean, but if I just go, you know, you're not supposed to be doing that. What the fuck are you doing? My dog looks at me as if she understands, and then she gets down or whatever. I'm telling you, dogs get it.
They understand the tone of your voice. Like if you say no, like, and they see that you're getting angry, they learn like, hey, I'm not supposed to be on the couch.
But I've talked to my dog like a person. I've been like, my dog's been wilding. I'm like, come on now. You tripping.
But
And I'm watching my dog recalibrate her behavior.
Not day one, no.
Not day one, no.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
shoved this dog in. Dog chased my cat. My
Yeah.
my husband was like, it said he was good with cats. I was,
Of course the paperwork says that shit. They try to get this dog the fuck out of here.
he thought that like they were gonna come in and train us. The guy was from
Yeah.
the shelter. Whoever picked him up just dropped him in the house. Sean was like, "What are we supposed to do now?" I was like,
How
"Oh,
big was the
God."
dog when you got it?
It's a half pit bull, half lab, and it was 3 years old and had been
That's
in the
a
pound
big-ass
for
dog.
a year. So it was just like going crazy. Like I don't know what am I supposed to do? Furniture?
Y'all
Chew it.
might as well adopt convicts if you're going to get a fucking
That's my
half
husband.
pit bull.
He had a horrible childhood too. He just likes to save every damn thing. Like,
Damn. I wonder why I'm not the same. Well, I don't do that with animals. I am not taking a stray dog in my crib. I've seen the damage these strays can do.
I will stop my car
Mm-hmm.
if I see a dog that even looks like a stray. When I first moved to LA,
Yeah.
my dumb ass, just because I feel for things that like are lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I stopped to try to save a coyote because I'm from Philly. I didn't know what a coyote looked
He
like.
just thought it was a fucking, what is that, like one of them lap dogs?
I just thought
He said, what's this big-eared
I
fucking?
was driving
Yeah.
home from Scrubs, and we used to work late. It was like 2 a.m. And I remember I was driving. I was in Hollywood Hills, and I saw this healthy-looking German Shepherd-looking thing, and I thought, poor baby, that's somebody's dog. He's gonna get hit. The dog just kept
Yeah.
running. Then I got home, and I just started looking up dogs in the
Yeah.
Hollywood Hills, and it was like, oh, that was a
He's
coyote.
like, oh, beware of these wild coyotes. And you're like, damn, I almost had one in my house.
Wait, my ass, 2 a.m. on the side of the Hollywood Hills
Yeah.
highway, or whatever it was called, Laurel Canyon. Come here, baby. Come on.
And this fucking coyote's like, this motherfucker know. I'm a wild animal, lady. I would eat you. I would eat you in your sleep. I think coyotes are smart. I seen a video. I guess now people are domesticating
Oh,
coyotes.
God.
Yeah, they're domesticating everything. They're domesticating raccoons, coyotes.
They don't want to be
foxes.
domesticated.
They figuring it out somehow. And this coyote was on the kitchen the counter, going through all the cabinets like a person. Like it figured out how to open the cabinets up. It's like taking dishes down and looking for snacks.
You know what? I mean, I would like to interview that coyote since you think you can talk to the animals.
Yo, get the coyote and let me ask questions. I guarantee you that
Because
coyote would.
I'd be like, damn. I mean, besides the humans encroaching on their territory,
Mm-hmm.
they have the best, like, they just free to roam. And I get proud when I see a healthy one. Like,
Yeah.
damn, now it's living off Cheetos. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like us. We're fucked up. Don't be like us.
Yeah,
Live
no,
free.
we fucking these animals up. Or I don't know if it's just online and that's what the algorithm is pumping to me. But
It
there's
is.
a lot of people giving like Gatorade and all
Oh.
these other things to these wild animals, bringing them in their house, trying to domesticate them. And I'm like, y'all just gonna get mauled in your sleep.
But you know what happens? I used to volunteer with this place. Just how much I loved animals.
Mm-hmm.
They used to take in abandoned animals, and they're taking in a lot of animals from these people who just get them to be cute on Instagram. And then all of a sudden they're like, the bear remembers it's a bear.
The bear like, I don't gotta wear this hat, bitch.
Bitch, why am I performing for views? Like, and so they take them in, and so you go there, and it's just like, man, people leave these animals
Yeah.
alone. That's where COVID came from. I really believe that the bats or whatever were like, how can we get rid of these humans?
Yeah, what is it? So did they eat the bat, or was it a wet market, or was the bats in the wet market? Like I didn't get the whole COVID.
All I
Conspiracy.
know is that just like you think that dogs can talk, I know that animals were talking to each other like, look, somehow they got a chance. We can infect all of them.
No, I believe that too. I believe that too.
They got
Is
our
it like The
brothers.
Happenings? You remember that movie?
No.
You don't watch
Talking about
movies?
The Blackening
No, I didn't see The Blackening. You seen The Blackening?
twice. I love that
It
movie.
was great.
Oh my
All
God.
right, I gotta check it out because Jermaine Fowler's in it.
That's so funny. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
he was at the beginning. No. He wasn't in the beginning. He was in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta see it. The Happening is M. Night Shyamalan. And that's when the trees and shit start communicating and they get people to go
Funny.
crazy.
Only watched one. I saw two of his movies. One because he's from Philly. And
Yeah.
He filmed the 1st
Mhm.
one in Philly, and everybody in the hood where he filmed it got a free bench outside of their house.
They got a free bench.
Yes. Because they
Yeah.
needed it to make the street, I guess, look like whatever it looked
Okay.
like. And so they left the whole block with benches.
What the benches look like? Are they
Just
nice
regular
benches?
old- just regular old benches. But I also think that it was, wait, who? Because you had to do something when you filmed in Philly. I think word got around after the Boys to Men shoot.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis got beat up in Philly after filming.
Bruce Willis got beat up?
I'm not kidding. Google it. I think-
Okay.
Yes.
Who beat Bruce Willis? Who beat Die Hard up?
Philly is just.
Philly
I never
is-
realized how rough that city is until I moved to LA, and like people would just say hi.
I'm trying to. So wait, you think that Philly is rougher than L.A.? Because right now on L.A. they following people to their homes and all of that shit.
But you know what? I'll say in LA, to rob somebody, you got to have a lot of stamina.
Yeah.
And gas.
You're like, God damn, this motherfucker live in the hills? Like,
Right?
you done passed up so many more opportunities going after this one, Mark.
When I'm growing up, it's like you could snatch 10 earrings on one train. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
like there's a lot more people and a lot more people walking around. So you always had to be on guard,
Yeah.
especially during the crack era.
Yeah.
You
You ever had your earring snatched?
Oh, please. That was like a rite of passage.
Let me see, because you got all your ear
You
holes
know what?
intact.
I am so grateful to those
Yeah.
guys because they sat behind me on the 37 trolley going to Southwest, and they actually flicked it up before they snatched them out.
Good for them.
I was
That's
sweet,
that's
right?
the
That
gentleman.
was
You should have
sweet.
dated one of them. He know how to treat women.
And then they just walked off like they ain't snatched my earrings.
But how, like, if you felt them lifted up, it was so quick.
It was so like I remember thinking, why is this guy sitting right behind me? Because it was two seats like
Yeah.
this, and then there's two seats behind, two seats, and he was sitting right behind me, and I was on the edge, and
Yeah.
I thought, this ain't good. I learned why it wasn't good.
But how did he do it? He's just like, "Bah," like real fast.
Yeah, as soon as the doors opened to let people out,
Yeah.
it's like, blap. Then he walked out and then just looked back at me like,
What type of earrings? That's so funny. He's like painless, right? he's like, tell your friends about me. I'm Carl, the painless robber.
but it's so funny because you don't think of yourself as a victim when you're growing up. Like, that's like just
Yeah.
shit that happens to everybody. You're just
Yeah.
like, damn, I shouldn't have worn my earrings on the trolley.
What type of earrings were they? Bamboo?
No,
The bamboo
they were
joints?
the good ones. We had these ones called swirls that were like lines of gold that just kind of swirled around. They were for the rich girls.
I remember
Hollow
those.
bamboos was like for the basic girls.
Yeah. You, was,
When you had saved up from your Roy Rogers job, as I had.
you had a Roy Rogers job?
Yes. My mom told me she made me lie when I was 13 and say I was 14 so I could get a job because I kept asking her for money. So
No, I remember having to lie. I feel like I was just talking to another comic about this. Roy Rogers played a significant part in keeping families together because every Roy Rogers, at least when I was growing up, was in a truck stop, like one of those pit stop things. You know what I'm talking about? And that's where everyone went to go drop off their kid right? Like you just go drop the kid off, he eat some Roy Rogers, then his dad or whoever come pick him up.
Yo.
So you were like keeping families together.
I was trying.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned so much at that job, though. I was just like, wait, black people aren't the only people who like fried chicken.
Oh no, white
I was
people.
like,
Asians love this shit. Asians will keep a Popeyes running.
Why did we get that stereotype? I just remember my mind being blown.
Yeah. What is a better stereotype? Because I feel like we eat more than just chicken. Like, what do we eat more of than chicken?
If we start new stereotypes, I'm gonna be like, I just eat takeout. Like,
Yo, yeah. Can we
cook.
say black people DoorDash the most?
we do though.
Yeah, we
Like,
love
I'll be like,
DoorDash.
you like literally living check to check. You don't need to be spending $50 for some McDonald's to be living at you delivered to your door.
Or Little Caesars. Right now, Little Caesars seem like they're keeping the black family together.
God.
Little Caesars disgusting. That's a step. That's like a step down from lunchroom pizza. Right? Little Caesars have to
I
be.
like lunchroom
You like lunchroom
that
pizza?
bread was so, and it was square.
What the fuck was that bread? That wasn't regular. That was not pizza bread. That's like, what was that shit?
That shit was like cake to me because my mom did not. We only had man meal. What they call those microwave
I
microwave
love
meals?
that shit. Fucking
The little nasty cake that never like.
nasty cake. Get out of here. Hungry man dinners?
Yes.
Hungry man, you disrespecting the hungry man dinner. Don't you disrespect the hungry man
Because
dinner.
like it would never be heated evenly, and then the cake was kind of hot, kind of cold.
Because you didn't know what you was doing.
Damn, so you're saying my mom couldn't even microwave right?
Yo, no, you're supposed to take that out. You take the cake out.
Oh.
Take the cake out. Heat the cake up later. You ain't eating cake and Salisbury steak in the same bite anyway.
Now I feel even more guilty. How tired was my mom that she was like, I ain't even taking the damn cake out.
She let you eat this shit frozen. Eat it. Yo, hungry man dinners was like a staple in my childhood.
Oh, that was all we ate. So when I got pizza that it seemed like someone made with love because the lady be standing back there looking all mean, just like, and my grandma was mean and she could cook that pizza, man.
Ooh. I did not like that pizza because I guess it was the tomato sauce. The tomato sauce always had like this medicine type flavor to it. I guess because they were trying to preserve it, right?
Yum.
They got to keep it in that basement for 20 years.
Yum.
They're like, put some medicine in it. You loved it?
I
Were your parents strict with music?
You know what's funny though is because I feel like single moms when they, oh my God.
Because you be down here, you be like, yeah, yep. You get hype.
And I use my arms. Okay.
You like it.
I think it's funny though because single moms who work too damn much be trying to be strict, but they can't control you that much. So
they can't because their schedule.
Yes.
So all right, I'll behave when they're here, but when they're at work or whatever, I'm fucking going in.
And I just wanted to be cool so bad.
Yeah.
So it was like I wanted to listen to the songs. Like you had to be the first one. You had to know what was the top on the Power 99 countdown.
Yeah.
Power 99 FM in Philly. And I just, but now I'm just like, I listen to some songs. I'm like, oh my God. Is my niece going to listen to this?
Remember Too Close? Step back, you're dancing kind of close. Feel a little poke coming through on you.
But you know what I think
and
about?
girl, you know you felt it. But boy, you know I can't help it. He's just rubbing his dick all on her back.
When you look at those songs, I always remember that was a bunch of dudes singing that in the studio to each other. Who did they look at when they were singing that? Like it was just them.
Yeah.
Feel a little poke coming through. Like who?
And there's another dude in the studio like, no, you didn't say that right. He's
put
like,
a little more bass in the poke.
And girl, you know I can't help it. That's what the fuck we talking about.
I want women to really feel like your penis is erect. Sing it with some lady. Well, that's so nasty.
I don't feel like you think it's hard enough. Let's take that from the top. Is that really how you'll sing with a stiffy?
Well, I guess the studio executive's just going to have to be happy with that. Like that is so crazy. Whew. Kids. That makes me not want to have kids because music is still the same. If anything, it's probably gotten raunchier. R&B singers curse. R&B singers didn't curse back then. But do you think that it's the way we look at sex? Like maybe we're not supposed to be all like, ooh, we can't talk about sex.
What do you mean?
Like when I listen to like songs like WAP, I'm like, damn, WAP is a #1 hit. Wet ass pussy.
Wet ass pussy.
We try to keep kids from sex so much that it's like, those hormones, once you get them little titties in the Chuck E. Cheese balls,
Yeah.
and you start feeling things, if nobody won't talk to you about
Yeah.
it, you're gonna explore it on your own. So
No, absolutely.
I don't have an answer. I'm just throwing something.
No, I actually like to sit here and think about this stuff. I don't know. I felt like when I was listening to music back in the day, it was still just the sexual, right? Man, I don't know.
How many times did you get raped? Is what I'm saying.
Never.
Aww.
And who you know I can't help it. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I do think you're right though. Like, sex is looked at as this like sacred thing, right? And they're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. But I think the more we normalize that everybody's nasty, probably wouldn't have as much. What is it? What is it called?
Promiscuity?
Promiscuity?
Yes.
Promiscuity? I don't know. That word got too many syllables in it for me. Promiscuity. I think the more people know about shit or whatever, less people will want to do it because then it won't be as cool and fun, and they get to live vicariously through the music. Because we like gangbanging music, but I ain't going to go shoot nothing up. I think this music probably keeps people from fucking. Wet ass pussy probably kept a lot of girls from fucking.
I hope so, because ain't nothing wrong than fucking the wrong man in your teen years. Because I don't know if boys still do that, but y'all love to just tell on your penis. Like y'all.
What you mean?
Like, boys used to lie back then and act like they slept with you when they didn't sleep with you. So when you finally did sleep with a guy, you'd be like, don't tell nobody.
You like, don't tell nobody.
And I think about all the shit we used to put up with from other teenage boys.
Yeah.
Like, just the like, damn, fat ass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, I keep wishing that would happen to me in Hollywood so I could sue somebody. Like, all that harassment we went through in the hood for free? I'm like, damn, why couldn't Weinstein?
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's where you get you build your like your callus, right? You live in the hood, you're used to grown men yelling at you and be like, yeah, look at that, you want some of this? When you go to the store, bring me back something, right?
Yes, but then you don't know when you get in Hollywood if some rich dude does that, you can literally sue him. So you're just thinking, because I got this callus, oh, that's just how it goes. And you see other chicks like, see ya, I just sued him. I'm never working again.
Damn, now you wishing for that shit.
No,
Now you're like,
I just don't want poor men harassing me is what I'm saying.
I mean, that's all you're going to get because that's all poor men know how to do is harass.
Damn.
They know how to help you get into a parking spot and harass. That's all they know
At
to
least
do.
harass me when you in your work uniform.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking for a payday at this
Some
point.
of them are in their work uniform. Just
Ladies,
dusty ass clothes.
sue them.
Sue the pants
Roy
off
Rogers,
these people.
even though I know they don't still exist, Burger King, if one of them harass you, sue them.
That's where all the harassment went down. All those jobs, Burger King. I never worked at a Roy Rogers. Pretty sure you serve burgers and chicken. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of harassment going on.
Remember telling my other friends who work, because everybody wanted to work in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
That for some reason that was the cool place. You could meet dudes, I guess,
Yeah.
with cars. But I remember telling people my job is harder than your Burger King because we do chicken and burgers.
We got to use two different types of grease. We got to cook two. Because it makes sense if everything goes in the same grease, it's easy. Right?
Not with the man who was working in the back when I worked there. I mean, that was one of the men that took it seriously, like he was a sous
I hated
chef.
those people.
Yo.
Fucking like, dog, no one's going to discover you here, man. I hated that shit. Like, this job sucks for everybody.
Woo! That old man, somebody sent a burger back. I was like, oh, he about to spit in the next one. Like,
did he?
Serious. I don't know because I was in the front, but I mean,
Yeah.
you would hear it. These motherfuckers in the back.
They don't know my art.
Yeah, right.
Fucking, this is my shit, man. How'd you get into TV writing, though? What was the thing that made you go, this is lucrative, I enjoy this?
Okay, so moved out to LA. I'm still on. I had literally just been on Oprah, right? And just taped Oprah. This was right after 9/11.
I ain't never seen an Oprah episode. I don't watch Oprah though. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean,
like I listen to Oprah's speeches and shit sometimes, but I've never watched an episode of Oprah.
It was like mom stuff. Like, it was like, but being on Oprah for a book was like, and it wasn't her book club because she had already quit because people were getting on her because some guy had lied about his book and he got all this press. And like, she was like, no, I'm done with that. So I was just on the stage talking about, like how I used to be broke.
Okay. And this was the Broke Diaries book.
Yes. That's the one with the pockets.
The one with the pockets. Can you just call it, if you ever re-release that book, because what do you got? You got paperback, you got hardback.
They ain't gonna come out in no hardback. I got trade paperbacks for both of those books.
So
This will be
when
my
it comes
first
out in hardback, you can AKA it.
Yes.
You can be like, also known as the one with the
one with
pockets.
Damn. Like, so, man. But that's how. So I was. But then I was still selling. I was literally coming back and forth when I would come to Philadelphia. Oh God, there's somebody gonna pull up this interview if I ever like.
I want to see the interview, so I'm gonna look it up. I'm actually going to look it up. And if you can find an interview, send it to me, people. But I want to see you on Oprah.
It's on my IMDb, but I have yet to been able to find the interview.
Okay.
My I remember flying out there. And my mom, last thing she said to me was, "Don't embarrass us. You know Oprah likes to make you tell things about your parents."
Is that true?
She does like to dig into your backstory. So I remember sitting up there and being so nervous because my mom had bought me this nice silk shirt and I was sweating through it. So I just kept my arms down to my side because I know my mom was also going to be embarrassed if I had pit stains all up on Oprah's couch. I was just so nervous. And then my grandfather was like, I stayed up to watch that. You wasn't even on long.
How long were you on for?
That was the first segment. Like, but so then I went back home, meaning Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles at the time, and I was selling all my stuff on eBay, trying to move back to Philly because I was like, this ain't working out.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get.
Even with that success, you still felt like it wasn't working out for you.
People don't like. People think that when you get on Oprah, all of a sudden there's a bunch of people with you to be like, here's what you should do next. No, it's like you go on Oprah, you go home.
Yeah.
I didn't have a manager, an agent. I just had a book. And I was like, okay, I hope this makes something happen for me. Well, it did, just not in the way I thought.
Okay.
I was listing my stuff on eBay, which I had been doing for a year because the book literally paid me less than minimum wage if you look at the hours it took to write it. And I was selling a fake Gucci hat on eBay with the disclaimer, hey, was a gift, not sure if authentic. And this one woman kept bidding on it. Like she was bidding up to like 300. And so I DM'd her and said, I don't know why. I said, I'm not sure this hat is authentic.
Yeah.
And then she saw my name when I DM'd her and she said, Angela Nissel, weren't you just on Oprah?
Why you selling fake hats?
Yes.
Why you selling fake Gucci shit? Times is hard. Mind your business, bitch. You want this hat or not? Did you say that to her?
But then I saw her name
Yeah.
and she, on eBay, you can have like usernames, like Twitter or whatever. But she had her real name and at wherever, at the WB. That was back when the WB was still hot. And I was like, oh my God, she's in the industry.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm trying to get into TV writing, but I don't know how. And so until that pans out, here I am.
Yeah.
I'll sell you the hat for $150 and I'll send you a script with it. She was like, send the script and the hat. And if it's good, I'll hook you up with an agent.
And that shit was good.
I guess it was because she hooked me up with my agent and I got the job on Scrubs. So
That's fucking dope.
yes, this was after a year and I was literally ready to go back home because I was like, this ain't panning out. So thank you, Oprah. Thank you, Janine. That's her name. We're still friends.
Thank you,
to this day.
Janine. And I would thank you, Oprah. Even though you put her in the first segment, her granddad didn't even get to watch that long.
God, that was so. I mean, I was so nervous because I remember my mom didn't want to come because she was like, Oprah.
Oprah was filmed in Chicago by this time, right?
Yes, she was like, Oprah just gonna ask me questions about your childhood, just like you are asking.
Yeah, no, but I'm trying to at least make them fun. I at least reveal shit about myself too. I ain't like Oprah that's just digging.
It is so hard to do interviews when you have a family that's always like, don't you be making black people look bad out here. Like,
see, I don't have that problem. My mom.
she's so lucky to be a foster kid. No,
yeah, but it ain't even about the foster kid thing. My mom didn't care to the point where she's like, you know what I mean? Like most people go, oh, how did your family feel that you tell jokes about your upbringing? My mom don't give a fuck.
Oh.
My mom was like, and plus I don't disrespect her. Like I make jokes about real shit, but she don't care at all. And I think most of my foster parents are probably dead anyway, because I was in their house when they were 70 something. Like, wow, if they are still around, it is a blessing.
That is not. My mom was like, whenever I would go out for an interview, don't you let them think you don't have no home training, because she was already insecure because the book was about how broke I was in college. You know, and it was like, you're gonna make people think I didn't help.
You didn't. The fuck? You don't want me to tell the truth? You beat my ass with wet rags. You let old people beat me with switches. Well, you never got beat with the switch.
She ain't let old people beat me with switches. But you know what's funny is that she got embarrassed over things that I just thought were funny. Like, she would bring home, she brought home a bedpan for me and my brother because we were bugging her for the G.I. Joe swamp set, you know, and she was like,
"Ugh, y'all played in a bedpan?"
See,
what?
It was a new bedpan though, but that's exact reaction my mom had. She said, you didn't say it was new in the book. And even if you did, they just going to say the black nurse is stealing bed fans. That's why we're not going to hire no more black nurses. And if it wasn't new, then I'm just a thief who lets my kids play and poop.
Pretty much. The fact that she made y'all, she got you a bedpan versus just like one of those little Tupperware, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, little foot baths and shit.
She was, man, like, it was like, if you don't have to spend money on it, just like me, and you making fun of my hotel room with the 1 burner hot plate.
No, this is smart. When I go on the road, this is the best case scenario. I hate being in a hotel where I got to order room service, where I got to call on people. Give me a hotel with a kitchenette and a fucking Target not too far, and I'm good.
See? And that's what she did give me, though, because I'm not spending my money on nothing.
Dude,
I don't need
first
to.
time going to L.A., you'd have thought I lived in a shelter. I was in that bitch cooking up everything. People are like, yo, you want to come down and get lunch? Nah, I already got lunch up here. They're going to be eating ramen noodles. I was
you
doing
know
well.
what?
I know how to survive.
I like that mentality, because I remember when I first made it and bought my house in L.A., it was a nice house for me. And I remember people I worked with coming over and being like, this is a nice starter home. I was like, what the fuck is a starter home?
Bitch, don't you disrespect me. This,
Like,
this is my forever home.
And it still is. I'm still in it.
you
I
still
didn't
got it?
understand the concept. I'm like,
Yeah.
it is a home that I own.
Yeah.
Like, why would I starter? And it was just so funny. You're like, people who didn't grow up with that are constantly reaching, thinking the next thing is going to bring them happiness.
It ain't.
Yeah, so it's
It
like,
ain't.
I have thanks to not getting beat,
Yeah.
thanks to getting my brother ass whipped, I have a new perspective on what it means to be happy.
What was the longest you was ever allowed to stay out?
Oh, street lights came on. As soon as street lights came on. And then when I was in high school, it was midnight, and we had to use a payphone.
Midnight in high school?
That's not good.
That your mom was as much shit you talk about your mom. No, fuck it. You don't talk shit about your mom.
Like, I don't.
That's pretty lenient.
Wow.
Like a family that care. Like I used to have
During
friends.
the weekends, not on the weeknights.
Even on the weekends. Like I had friends, we call them corny, but now we know they not corny because they college educated. They doing good. They got good jobs and shit because their parents, even on the weekend, was like, nah, you still need to be in the house. On the weekend, you had to be in the house by 10. So they didn't really get to go out with us and go party and stuff. So they didn't get to go to like the 15 and up clubs. But they would go to the movies and stuff with us. They would go do the fun shit. But yeah, nah.
I thought my mom was so strict because I always had to find a payphone if it was going to be a little later than 12. And be like,
Yeah,
Mom.
you used to call collect, or you had quarter on you.
Sometimes I had a quarter, but remember, oh my God, calling collect and just screaming out what you had to say before the operator got in. Mom, I'm going to be a little late.
That's why Bob by Outta Baby It's a Boy is still like the most iconic commercial ever. Remember that shit?
Wait, no.
That's the collect call commercial. It was like, collect call from Mr. Bob, we Outta Baby It's a Boy. Because he you don't remember that shit?
No.
It was a 1-800 collect commercial, and the guy was calling his family because his wife had just gave birth. So to save money, instead of being like, hey, we had a baby, it's a boy, it was like, this is Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy. He said it really funny, and then they pick up, oh, it's Bob, they had a baby, it's a boy.
God,
hang up.
no.
You don't remember that shit?
That is hilarious. Man, I don't know what I was doing when that commercial was on. Getting beat.
Getting beat. Yo. Thank you. Please tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me anywhere that is on. Wait, let me start that over. You can find me at anything at the name Angela Nissel. Like literally, just type that in. And
Type
I'll
in
pop up.
Angela Nissel. Follow her on Instagram.
Yes.
You still do Instagram? I mean, not Instagram. You still do
I'm trying
Twitter?
not to do Twitter until my book is done because I have an addictive personality. I'll be like, oh, somebody gonna say something smart to me, and I'll stay on there for like 2 hours. I'm like, no.
Like, what the fuck are you like? Are you like really engaged with your audience? Like, do you go back and forth with them and shit?
That's why I do Instagram now, because I'm like, only the people who follow me mostly are going to see this, and they're not
Yeah.
going to pass it out, and all of a sudden, like, Barack Obama's not going to be retweeting, and people
Yeah.
are like, like, I just want
You had that problem before where people will take something you said and like blow it up?
just people thinking they know TV, and like,
Yeah.
I always try to explain to people, Kenya Barris, who created Blackish, wasn't even allowed to air his own episode of football players or talking about football players kneeling.
Yeah.
Like, the studios and networks are in control. So by the time my episodes come out,
Yeah.
I might not even know half the lines in there. Like, oh, they changed my shit. And so I got death threats over the Boondocks one day.
Oh shit! Which episode?
It was like people didn't understand that, like, because people couldn't understand that because Aaron quit or was fired, whatever happened. I still had a contract.
Did he quit or did he get fired?
I still don't know. All I know is his name was on the script. And I like, but people just thought for some reason I was a new person meant to take them over. So I literally had death threats. Like I was like, over a TV, like people take their Boondocks very seriously.
Wait. So you replaced Aaron?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you was just a part of.
No, Aaron. Like I knew him back from when I started OK
Mm-hmm.
Player. Like we knew each other, and so he had asked me to come in. Then all of a sudden, something happened with him in the studio, and there was no more Aaron. I don't know if he quit or whatever, but I was just like, "What the hell?" And the names weren't on the episodes, and then I just remember telling him like, "Hey, I'm getting death threats. Can you kind of speak up and tell people I didn't steal the show from you?" But then he was in a lawsuit with somebody and he couldn't. So I was just like, whew, I just deleted. I was
Did he
like,
say anything? Did he defend you? Or he was like, nah, you got it. This is the internet. You'll be fine.
He's not on the internet, and he was just in something with Sony. And so I just said, oh, damn, I'm just left out here to dry with people literally like I'm living by myself. I was still mourning the death of my damn mom. And people are like, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like,
I'm going over a cartoon.
Yo, people are serious over TV. Like it's, ugh. But anyway, people think that because you're a writer, what you write is like the exact same thing that ends up. No. So
I've never even made it, like, because our relationship started because we created a show together. And even just in creating that show, there's so much fucking network notes where you go, this don't even make no sense. The shit y'all adding don't even make sense. It's like, are you really reading it? It makes at least you're way more professional. At me, it was making me feel retarded. Like I remember asking you, like, am I fucking up? Am I not seeing something? What am I doing wrong?
Yes.
We would just keep going around in a circle and around in a circle. I'm like, I don't fucking get it. Am I not writing English? But yes, it's that.
Yes, and it is, and that's why I also write books, because for the most part in books you can say what you want to say. There's not an advertiser who's going to get pissed because their Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial aired while you were talking about football players kneeling, So you won't get a network note saying don't do that. Because
but how come it can't be like the internet? Like the advertisers put whatever the fuck they want on. Like you'll see a fight video and then it's like a home security system commercial. It's like, you like
because they just showed a fight video and they're like, they might come to your house next.
No.
But yeah, that's why I like books, and so I might try stand up thanks to you and watch me bomb and curse you out.
Yo, bombing is the most, not the most fun, but it's killing. When the shit works, it's great. But if you know how to bomb gracefully, you can also have a lot of fun with bombing. That's the one thing I had to do. Learn how to bomb gracefully. Don't take that shit so personal. Just because they don't laugh in the moment don't mean like the next audience won't laugh. So you just gotta, like Keith Robinson was telling me about that, because I used to just go up there and start my jokes immediately. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you telling your jokes so quick? I'm like, because I wrote them. He's like, but they don't know who you are. You ain't give them a sense of like anything. He's like, lead with your personality. And when you lead with your personality, you're on stage, even when they're not laughing at the jokes, they still feel like they know you. You can get it to the point where it's like, you ever like crack jokes with your cousin, or you got, and your cousin, you're like, that shit ain't funny, but their personality still makes you go, but this person is funny, but maybe the shit they said isn't that funny. So I've learned how to, even when bombing, still get a laugh. Either I make fun of myself, or I make fun of the joke, or I make fun of the audience.
That makes
but
sense.
there's always some meat there, and that's fun because I've gotten more material out of bombing than I do from killing.
See, perspective. I literally,
But also, you if you start comedy, you can't start in L.A. It's too because.
Why would I start? That's work for free, though. It's literally like, then I think about it now, I'm like, you got to get up on an open mic night. This would be me if I bomb. Fuck y'all, I got a pension.
Yo, people say that. I've been at places, I will never reveal who they are. I've seen like established comics bomb and then throw their accomplishments out there. They're like, I don't need this shit. Like, obviously you do, motherfucker. You here talking to us. We didn't ask for this shit. But I just say starting in LA because you won't get that much stage time. So you would, and then every stage you get on feels like a showcase stage and feels like you have to do your best. When living in New York, you get that room to practice because there's so many places to perform out here that if you perform 5 times in one night, you go and bomb 2. And you're like, all right, I can learn something from that too. But you get 1 spot a night, that shit gonna haunt you. That's why I'm pretty sure a lot of comics probably commit suicide in LA over New York. New York, you know, fuck.
I'm gonna just follow your career and I'm gonna go out to eat. What time is it?
It's time to go.
Thank you. This was dope.
Yo,
This was
yo.
fun.
Thank you. I love you, yo.
I love you too.